Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Executive Planning Day. My name is Kathy. Today, I'm going to show you and take you guys through four main topics. The first is the macroeconomy and understanding the business cycle. The second is RK demand and RK supply analysis. The third is the tariffs and trade wars. And the last one is the insight from behavioral economics. Now, we will come to topic one. I will define and explain what is meant by the three key macroeconomic indicators. Gross domestic product or GDP measures the total market value of all final goods and services produced within a country during a specific period. It reflects the size of an economy and the overall level of production. GDP can be measured using the production expenditures or income approach and is often expressed as nominal GDP, current prices, or real GDP, the prices held constant to remove inflation. Changes in GDP help identify the business cycle. For example, rising real GDP along with higher investments and consumption indicates expansion, while falling GDP and declining spending signal a contraction. Tracking real GDP per capita helps assess long-term growth and living standards, providing an insight into economic health. Inflation. Inflation is a sustained increase in the general price level of goods and services. Measure is the percentage change in prices over time. Changes in inflation provide insights into the business cycle. High inflation indicates an expanding economy, while low or falling inflation signals a slowdown or recession. For example, after COVID 19, when travel, dining out, and entertainment surged, prices for airline tickets and food rose sharply, reflecting strong demand and economic recovery. Conversely, falling prices during the 2008 financial crisis reflected weak demand. Unemployment. Unemployment is the percentage of the labor force without work but actively seeking jobs. Changes in unemployment provide insights into the business cycle. High cyclical unemployment indicates a recession, while falling unemployment signals economic expansion. Frictional unemployment reflects short-term job transitions, and structural unemployment shows long-term mismatches between skill and jobs. For example, during COVID 19, cyclical unemployment rose sharply as businesses closed, while the rise of AI may increase structural unemployment by replacing certain jobs. Overall, changes in GDP, inflation, and unemployment reflect the stage of the business cycle, showing whether the economy is growing or slowing. For our company, understanding these conditions help forecast travel demand, adjust pricing, plan promotions, and manage resources efficiently, ensuring the company can respond strategically to both economic upturns and downturns. Okay, so our next destination is the topic two, RK demand and RK supply analysis. In July 2024, the Australian government implemented state three personal income tax cuts, reducing tax rate for all income brackets and increasing upper thresholds. These changes can be analyzed using the RK demand and RK supply models. About the short-run effects, the tax cuts increase household disposable income, leading to higher consumption. This shifts the aggregate demand curve to the right, resulting in increased real GDP and upward pressures on the price level, inflation. However, the early data suggests that a significant portion of the tax savings is being saved rather than spent, which may moderate the inflationary impact. About the long run effects, in the long term, the economy returns to its potential output. The initial increase in the real GDP phase, leaving only a higher price level if monetary policy does not just adjust accordingly. The tax cuts may also affect saving, investment, and the government fiscal balance, potentially influencing interest rates or public spending. And the most important thing is the impact on Traveloka. In the short term, increased disposable income can boost domestic tourism demand, benefiting companies like Traveloka through higher bookings. However, if inflation and interest raised rise. Suppliers such as hotels and transport service may increase prices, raising Traveloka costs. In the long term, the impact depends on the sustainability of income growth and macroeconomic stability. Traveloka should capitalize on short-term demand serves through promotions and domestic travel packages, while managing cost risk via long-term supplier agreements and service diversifications. Now let's go to the topic three, tariff and trade wars. Suppose the US government, under President Trump, introduced a tariff on imported cheese. This is only an illustration to explain the effects of tariffs using a real world example. If a tariff is placed on imported cheese, the price may rise from 15 USD to 25 USD per kilogram. This makes imported cheese less competitive, leading consumers and businesses such as restaurants and hotels to pay higher costs for the same product. Domestic cheese producer benefits because they can now sell their products at a higher price and expand their production. US government also gains some revenue from the tariff. However, consumers lose because they must pay more, and many restaurants or hotels using cheese in the dishes or service will face increased operating costs. Some small restaurants may reduce quality or increase prices to maintain profit margin. Overall, the total welfare in the economy declines due to reduced consumption and production efficiently. For Traveloka, the impact is indirect. Although the tariff does not directly affect airline tickets or booking fee, it raises the overall cost of hospitality and tourism service. When hotel and restaurant expenses increase, travel packages become more expensive, and tourists may cut down on travel spending or shorten their trips. This can lead to lower demand for hotel bookings and tourism services listed on Traveloka platform. In the long term, Traveloka might face slower growth in the US market, while needing to adjust pricing strategies and strengthen partnership with the local providers to remain competitive. We come to the last part of my presentation. Topic 4, Insight from Behavioral Economics. Behavioral economics shows that people often make decisions based on emotion, habits, or social influences rather than the purely rational thinking. Understanding this can help organizations making better business decisions. For example, Traveloka can use loss aversion by showing limited time offers or the number of remaining seats for a flight. This encourages customers to book quickly because they fear missing out. Another example is incurring. By displacing a more expensive travel package first, other packages seem more affordable, increasing the likelihood of purchase. Behavioral economics also have internal decision making. Managers aware of overconfidence bias can plan more carefully before launching new service, reducing risk and mistakes. By applying these insights, organizations can better predict customer behavior, design marketing strategy that work in the real world, improve sales, and enhance overall operational efficiency. Understanding behavioral economics allow companies to bridge the gap between theory and real-world behavior, making their decisions more effective and customer-focused. And that is also the end of my presentation today. Thank you for listening.